Thank you everyone. Now we are our group of me and SHRESTHA, Angelina and PRATIVA are going to present on ghost trafficking topic. Ghost trafficking, we are now today going to discuss in ghost trafficking. Ghost trafficking is the serious issue which is related to moral issue. In ghost trafficking, it is not a simple social issue, but it is the complex one, and in which ghosts are sold, and which is against the human right, which is totally against the human right. Ghosts are sold for some unwanted purpose, for unwanted desire. So it is regarded as the one of the ethical challenge and great issue. It happens nationally and internationally. Is the activity done of selling ghosts, which is happening internationally and nationally. Ghosts are sold from one country to another country or one place to another place for some fulfilling some human desire that is related to the evil heart-minded person, and it is done on the basis of alluring, and it is based on the totally based on the alluring and selling person to get some benefit. It is done by alluring, basically targeting the village people, village girls, or who is not totally educated and who is on rural side. It is done after alluring the to live the real life. After that, now we will go to causes of ghost trafficking. They are the causes of ghost trafficking. Which I prepared the list, which are poverty, lack of education, human action crisis, and insufficient enforced legislation, lack of awareness, lack of proper human right, unhealthy constitution, lack of security. They all are the causes of ghost trafficking, basically in modern context. Now we will discuss on position. There are different positions we have listed on the view of government. First, we will discuss. As going through the history of the Nepal, we see different periods. There are Malla, Rana, and Lichimi period. In those periods, king were free to sell gold or take gold, and they were doing whatever they like. And in that, they basically was selling gold for some slavery purpose or prostitution purpose. They were selling gold. We found in the history of Nepal. And as data we collected through different sources. Every Nepal National Commission report, 7,000 girls are sold every year. 5,000 girls are traveling to foreign nation every year. And as we collected the news of Himalayan Times, 287 had gone missing last fiscal year. 126 were found, 116 were trafficked, and 68 boys also are missing, and 39 were found, but 29 were still missing. 132 minor girls were, only 77 were found, while people are agreeing, they are all agreeing to the report. Now we will look to the culture. In Nepal, there are different cultures, but we find out one culture that is of Chaudhary group. That's called Kamrari Pratha, in which girls are sold as slave for by their parents or neighbor, and that is the also one of the challenges of Nepal. As Christianity position, we find out that different Christian missionaries are working against that God trafficking. There are the different organizations that are working today, like AJAY International, civilian ministry. They are open house like that. Christian organizations are working against the God trafficking. In Nepal also there are two main organizations which are working on this also. I think they are Mighty Nepal and Asa Nepal. Now we will apply KME model as class. First I will go to KME 1, which is thinking in conflict kingdom term. In KME 1 we find out 9 marks. They are the deliverance, peace, justice, inclusion in community, joy in God presence. And they all are the worship of one true God. They all are the 9 marks of KME model that as thinking in concrete kingdom term. When you look to the issue in God's trafficking, we can find out that it is not totally obvious that all the positions that we mentioned in KME 1, it is totally violating human condition, and it is God trafficking is a totally issue, not only in Christian position but also looking through all the outside position also. It is one of the ethical challenge of human, in which we can find illegal sex and they are not one position which is totally against the kingdom term. When we go to KME 2, we can find reading Jesus from other side of history. In history, we find out Jesus was serving and helping the oppressed one, to understanding their position and as Jesus was made, we should also apply the model in the same mode. We need to communicate with victim, and we need to understand their position not by our one mind, but we should think about that as the kingdom term and kingdom position. We can find different norms and anything in short, but we should apply the important one. And so should also explore the our the youth against that cause trafficking and all the illegal work, and also should our youth to help the victim and to understand the victim, and we can solve the problem. And last, character as a lens for ethics. For this issue, we should look as a lens of kingdom term. So if we activate community with good policy, then we can solve the solution. Church should, as a church position, church should properly take care of the issue. And if someone is sold and they are in our church, then we should think about how we are looking them and how we are helping them. We should not neglect them, and but we should help them. And so should be concentrated on their psychology and we should focus on their understanding. Thank you.
KME4, source of authority for Christian ethics. We apply girls trafficking in KME4. In the church community, girls trafficking is very harmful issues for girls. Church response is not to be greedy for big things, but to be satisfied with the things they are blessed with. Never believe who are first time you have seen. Beware of people who show you greedy of money. God chose them for some purpose, but they didn't understand what God telling and showing for them. Girls are trafficking only for money. This is the main reason. So God tells that Matthew 6:25 to 34. Do not be worried. Everything is in God. Just response is pure and satisfied with life God had given us. KME 5, 4 level and 3 words of moral norms. We apply girls trafficking in KME 5. Bible totally prohibits social violence, in which girls trafficking is also the big social issue, which is not benefit to anyone in any condition. Girls trafficking is totally against law, increase social violence. Girls trafficking is against the gender right. Not only that, but it harms physically, mentally, psychologically to victim and also to their family member and society. KME 6, making the sermon on the Mount Center. We apply girls trafficking in KME 6. When we view life of Jesus from Sermon Mount, he teaches and want us to be with pure heart. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Matthew 5:8. If we look girls trafficking in social content, it has become issues related to physical desire. Bible wants us to overcome the physical desire, but girls trafficking include two kinds of sins, which is sexual desire and which is totally against the Bible. It is issue related to COVID. If we think only for ourselves and don't think of other life, it is dangerous issues. We should not sold other body for our own benefit. We should think in the terms of kingdom. Thank you.
KME 7, transforming initiative. For those trafficked women and who are going to traffic, if they rescue and women who are transforming, for those women in our society, it's hard to reestablish the same respect and same relation with the people. So for that transforming initiative, our government should provide them a job so that they can involve themselves in good job. Instead of that, they should involve in skill-based training. Do not feel depressed, instead involve oneself for awareness program. Those women who have trafficked and rescue, they feel depressed because they cannot reestablish the same relationship, and they may go into the depression. But instead of that, reestablish and go for the awareness program. And prevention for girls trafficking are education, training and technical cooperation, or to talk and sexual abuse, provide proper knowledge of sex and sexual abuse. In our Nepali society, they feel so awkward to talk about the sex. But if there is, if in our society, if there is free and if they talk freely about sex, then it will be safe and it will not lead any girls to the trafficking. Get youth involved in positive things, community service. Those girls should involve in the positive things and the community service. KAMI 8, love as cardinal ethical norms. For victim, we church need to show them love which can help them to free from that harmful situation. We need to do some action which can help them to get freedom and justice. They are seek to understand them. We have to understand those girls who have trafficked or who are going to traffic. We need to understand them, in which situations they are and which problem they are facing. Volunteer and support them, held event to raise awareness, stay informed, involve them in the church work. This situation is not only the problem of our society, but it's also the problem of our Nepali churches. So Nepali churches and the youths of the churches should involve in the church work so that they can keep themselves busy and they will be far from the trafficking. Get youth seminar to relative point. If church keep the seminar about such topics like trafficking and about the sheikhs, they will cover more care. We need to give more care to the girls and who have been trafficked. KAMI 9, justice as a cardinal ethical norms. In this situation, injustice is within a girl who are trafficked because the seller, they were convincing a girl to give a better life. Because the person who convinced a girl, they say to the girl that they will give her a better life, and by this word, the girls fall in the trafficking and they were trafficked. So injustice is within a girl. We might confirm that injustice by saving the trafficked girls and who are going to be trafficked. We might confirm that injustice by saving that girls who have been trafficked and by avoiding the girls who are going to be trafficked. In this situation, justice look like, especially in terms of greed injustice, because they are facing this situation because of money and money. In Nepali society, the basic problem is the money or the financial problem, because there are the many family who are from the lower classes or who have facing these problems. They can easily fall in this issue. And another is violence, because some of the victims are facing this forcefully as domestic violence. Girls trafficking is not done by oneself. Sometimes it also be done as forcefully. Thank you.
KAMI 10, sacredness as cardinal ethical norms. As we know that the perspective of the person of the society to see the trafficker is different, if we are in the situation, then we also may have seen that person in the same way. People think that the trafficker is the big sinner and he cannot be forgiven in his whole life. In the context of Nepal, people will take this case very seriously if he is caught while trafficking the girls. If we apply this case on KAMI 10, where it is mentioned sacredness as cardinal ethical norm, we should show the love to that person as Christ has loved us. We should be able to accept that person as Christ has accepted us, even though we are a sinner. We should not give him death penalty or something like that and just give him the punishment to the jail, and due to that the trafficker can be changed, and maybe by seeing our love and acceptance he may change his thinking and he may leave his work as a trafficker. You can see here, we should show love to them, no need of giving death penalty. Acceptance is necessary. Make love as a reason to make them leave the work. KAMI 11, 4-box diagram of dimensions of moral agency, analytical. There are different process action that are present to solve the problem of girls trafficking. Government, society, church, person individually are doing their best to solve it. Government is keeping different staff or organization at the border to find out the trafficker or to rescue the girls who are about to traffic. Many girls are being rescued while some of the girls are not. Government have kept the rules of educating girls in every house so that she have the power and knowledge about what is right and what is wrong. In spite of having rules in the country, there are many parents who are not giving proper education to their daughter because of the poor economic condition. As we can see that there are different organizations at the borders, but they are still not working or still not they are trying their best but are not able to rescue so many of girls, and they are being trafficked. So, and another ways is like government have kept the rules of educating each and every girls of every house, but parents are not able to give them proper education because of their poor economic condition. So that is the problem. KME 12 for box diagram perspective. Although government is trying their best to stop the girls by being trafficked, but is unable to stop all because of not so good relation with the neighbor country. If the country conduct meeting and establish a good relation, then it will decrease in high amount. Government should provide free education to the girls so that no parents will be in worry about paying fees and all. Community should conduct awareness programs so that girls will be alert from the trafficker. Government should give skill-based training to the girls so that they can earn for themselves and will be independent. Like I have mentioned 3 points that will help the girls to be independent, that will help them to get the education, and that will help them to differentiate between what is right and what is wrong. And no matter who the person comes and try them to convince, but they will stand their own feet, and they will know the real situation. So at the conclusion, as looking through Bible term and applying KME is related issue, we can outline the girls trafficking is serious problem which should be solved, which need companionship. Government, church, organization, and all society should be united to eradicate the issue. In biblical view, Christians are aware of this issue, but in outside view, it is serious moral problem which is against ethics. So, for proper judgment and human right, all of us should be active to raise voice against it, and we need to fulfill duty as a humanity. So, to eradicate or to eradicate the girls trafficking for our country, we need to raise our voice, and we all need to unite so that we can find out the actual problem, we can find out why it is not actually decreasing, and we can find out the problem, and the case of girls trafficking can be solved. Do you guys have any question?
Do you have any reference from Bible? I mean, biblical interpretation in this topic?
We haven't mentioned any biblical term, but we have mentioned that the love or the care or the acceptance that Christ has accepted us, and for this we are concerned about the trafficker because they may be compelled of something else which force them to traffic the girls, and while he get caught, and if he is in jail, then we should have to ask them, or we should have to show them the love or the acceptance that Christ has accepted us, or that Christ has loved us. We have only mentioned this. Yes, please.
We know that some girls, Nepali girls are returned back from this kind of situation from India and other countries also. And how can we do the recover for these girls and women, and how can we recover from this situation?
Here it is like there are different skill-based training, and there are different organizations that are trying their best to help that girls who are being trafficked, and to change their mind and make them able that that is not their mistake, that was not their mistake, and they have already been rescued, and they can try their best to start their life or start over their life. So like Nepal government or different organizations are trying their best or is still trying to eradicate those girls from that concept or that mental torture or everything, and they are again renewing their life and they have start over their life. So thank you.